Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 6. This is my second video of the day, which I wasn't necessarily expecting to do today. I'll probably do it in a couple of days because I thought something else would come out of what we went over earlier on today. But yeah, so we're doing it. So the DC TV show, aka Mini-Me Pagey, did ask me, he's like, yo Pagey, should I Photoshop the script a bit more because I'm better with it? And I was like, yo Mini-Me, go for it. So he went and did it and was able to actually uncover one thing which I think a lot of people skipped over because it is pretty hard. Like, this is obviously the point where you have to tinker it almost perfectly, I guess, to find out what's there. So thank you to DC TV show, aka Mini-Me. I will leave his the link to his stuff in the description down below if you want to go check him out. And yeah, but of course, leave your various thoughts because I'm extremely interested to see what you guys think about this and how you think it's going to play into mainly episode 1, but also maybe going forward into season 6 of The Flash, obviously. So yeah, be sure to let me know all your various opinions down there and various theories, I guess. And also, if you're going to enjoy the video and are excited by this news, be sure to drop a like on it to show that hype and support and stuff. So yeah, just to give some preface this, I guess you could say, obviously Danielle Panabaker uploaded or put that image up of the script cover for episode 1, covering the title, which also had the potential title using the Photoshop techniques. We figured out, I think, that the last word in the title begins with V. I think a lot of people are thinking it says goodbye vibe because I think someone says that maybe towards the beginning it looks like a capital G. We won't know because it's hard to confirm that. But then we also had the episode 2 title just legitimately just put out there and leaked by Grant Gustin. So as I said in the other video, good one Grant. And that episode title is A Flash of the Lightning. Now we will come back to that title and stuff around that later in the video. So yeah, we'll get into the Godspeed stuff first. So towards the bottom of the script the script cover that Danielle Panabaker put up, it has some extras or like I wouldn't call them extras, but like smaller cast if you want to say. So some of it is hard to tell. There's like a name that has like a P in there, like it's like something P something, you know, like Jesse L. Martin, you know, like it's got like that initial. So it's something P something. Is it? I don't know what it would be. Anyway, I was going to say, don't worry. I was going to say some stupid name, which I won't even bother going near. So there's something there with like a P in the middle as their initial. And then we have a night manager. So there's just going to be something at night gets taken and there's a night manager there. And then there's simply a role called girl. I love playing that role called girl. Anyway, so there's those two roles. And then underneath that, there is Godspeed. Right down the bottom, there's Godspeed, and I must add, with brackets afterwards. We will jump into that in a second. But just seeing Godspeed there is extremely intriguing. There will be people saying like, why is he down the bottom, which we will jump into in a second. Which is going to cause a lot of confusion, I think, but I'll explain that to the best of my ability and some examples of that in the past. But just seeing Godspeed there, sorry, is very exciting. Obviously, we know what happened to him at the end of last season in that one episode called Godspeed, where he is easily taken down by an amateur Nora. People weren't very happy with that, and I can understand. I don't really like it when Nora probably should have lost that battle. And, you know, but I guess she was helped by Earbud Thorn, so that's a bit of a cheat code. Anyway, so people weren't happy with how that ended. So seeing him here is really cool. But what does it say in those brackets afterwards? Because it's weird. It says Godspeed and has something in brackets. Now, it is hard to tell. Even though it's clear that it does say Godspeed, you can tell it says Godspeed. That's 100%. But the stuff in the brackets, that's hard to tell. Now, personally, and let me know if you agree with this, but personally, I think it says non-speedster. I think it says speedster in that like the back half of it. I'm not too sure what the first like 4 or 5 letters say, but I think it might say non, N-O-N, and then it might have like a hyphen, or a dash, sorry, like non-dash speedster. I think that's what it says. Now, when it says Godspeed non-speedster, I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what they mean by that. Maybe it just means that he won't be running, you know what I mean? Or it might be August Hart outside of the suit. I really don't know what it means necessarily by non-speedster. Unless it's Godspeed that has his speed taken away. I don't know necessarily what exactly they would mean by that, but if it does say non-speedster, that's extremely intriguing. But it could say something else, and you guys, or some of you guys, might have a different opinion on what it says in those brackets. But I will upload those two photos. Well, actually, I'll just link them. So I'll link a description to those photos, so you might get a better quality. But the video should be good enough, so you can maybe see what's in those in between those brackets. But yeah, as I was saying, Godspeed is at the end. He's like at the bottom of these credits, if you want to call. So or call them, sorry. So why is Godspeed at the end? Like, why is he with these small roles of something, P something, and night manager and girl? Like, why is he down there? And there's a couple possibilities. It could simply be like a flashback, and it could be like a flashback where maybe they have to get like another shot or something. So technically, it has to be in this episode, like a new stuff, like a new thing for this episode. So it could be a flashback, or it could simply be a recap of season 5, and for some reason he's credited. That's very, very unlikely. Because the biggest thing is like, well, if they're doing recaps of season 5, Nora would be in there, and Jessica Parker Kennedy isn't anywhere in the credits. So that sort of like chucks that out the door, I guess you could say. Yeah, that basically just chucks it out the door because Jessica Parker Kennedy would be in there. So he could be appearing right at the end of these credits because he's going to appear right at the end of the episode. Now, from memory, Jay Garrick, or, like the fake Jay Garrick, I guess you could say, who was actually, the time remnant of Zoom, was in that same spot in the credits roughly in the premiere for The Flash Season 2 because he appeared towards the end in regards to us knowing who he was. Obviously, that character was sprinkled in like a couple of other parts throughout that opening episode, like being a bit of a stalker, but he came in at the end of the episode, and that's when we learned that he was apparently Jay Garrick, and that's what we called him for a while, and that's what he was on the credits in the script and stuff like that. Also, in season 5, I think it was, of Arrow, in episode 9, the mid-season finale, Katie Cassidy appears, and she was not in that season at all outside of the 100th episode, but she wasn't a regular, so she was not on any of the the title credits and stuff in that whole season. It was only in that 100th episode where she appeared, but then she appears in that mid-season finale as Black Siren, Earth 2 Laurel, right at the end. So she would have had a similar spot on the script as well. So if we go off this and like we think of like previous seasons where like the villain has appeared in episode 1, is Godspeed the villain? And the answer to that is maybe. Like he might be the villain, but he also might be taken out at the end of the first episode by whoever the big bad is, just like how the rival was killed at the end of episode 2 in season 3 by Savitar. Remember that? So there's people even thinking that the rival was going to be the villain for the season. So they could do that where Godspeed just plays a small role, but then he just leads onto something bigger. That could be exactly what they're going to go with. But there is the other possibility, and this is the thing that a lot of people want, and that we have sort of done on this channel. We've sort of talked about how it could happen, is that Godspeed could be back because of a change in the timeline due to the dagger being destroyed. Obviously, we know certain things are going to be changing. It seems like the newspaper is because of that. They haven't probably explained that, but it seems like that could be the case. And we're expecting a decent amount of other things to happen throughout the season that are change from what we think should happen because of the destruction of the dagger in 2019. So there is a possibility that maybe Godspeed somehow, it's a bit more crazy than maybe some other changes, but it could be possible that maybe Godspeed appears in 2019 and is maybe August Hart Senior. You know what I mean? Like the August Hart in the what do you want to call it? The future was August Hart Jr. or something, and the Godspeed that appears in 2019 is August Hart Senior. They could do that if they wanted to, and that could make it and he would be like the same age as Barry probably, or somewhere around that. So they could do that, and he appears in 2019, and maybe he's a bit more overpowered or has like a different motive or different things he's trying to do. That could be what they're trying to do. I don't know. I'm really just pulling straws out, just saying which one's the longest and which ones are the more likely to happen, but that's a possibility. But if I'm just going to speak like honestly, I would ask you guys to not go into this episode expecting too much from Godspeed. The fact is at the end makes me think it might not be too much, but maybe just put 10% of your hope and stuff on the side there. Maybe that if you look forward to Godspeed and want him to be the villain, that he could actually be the villain there on the side. So you never know, that could happen. But yeah, just quickly, as I was saying before, episode 2's title is A Flash of the Lightning. Now, that's actually an interesting title. I didn't talk about it in my last video just because honestly, I just did not know. It's just one of those things. I didn't read Crisis on Infinite Earths as an issue thing because I'm not 75 years old. I read it in like the graphic novel thing, the paperback thing, and I didn't know this was actually a title of one of the issues. So one of the issues of Crisis on Infinite Earths is called A Flash of the Lightning, and specifically this is the issue in which Barry Allen actually dies. So I think it was like issue 7 or 8. So this is the issue in which Barry Allen sacrifices himself to save the multiverse because he interrupts it and then he is able to actually just go through and completely just stop the all the stuff happening to the multiverse, and he sacrifices himself. And this is like shortly after Supergirl sacrifices herself to save Superman. So this is the episode in which the Monitor is most likely going to appear. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily that like Barry's going to die in this episode. Let's not go that far. But I think they're using this title for this episode just as a connection to the Monitor. So there's going to be something that happens here that's probably going to cause the Monitor to come to the Flash, or there's a complete reasoning behind the Monitor coming to the Flash at this point in this episode to bring something up. Now, the fact that he was at the table read for this makes me think that he's going to have a decent portion in this episode. It's not going to just be like one line, because he wouldn't need to go to go to the reading for that. So he might have like half an episode or half an episode's worth of lines in this episode, which is pretty interesting, and I can't wait to see what they do with that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know all of your various opinions in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Godspeed? Are you excited? What role do you think he's going to play? And what are your thoughts on that episode 2 title as well? And yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.